AOC recently shot back against criticism from right-wingers over a photo featuring herself and her boyfriend taking a little break in Florida. Now, before we get to how Fox News was triggered by her vacation and her response to critics of this vacation, let me just fill in the blanks, give you the context necessary. So it all kind of started with AOC taking a break in Florida. Conservatives had a problem with that and the fact that her boyfriend was wearing flip-flops apparently. And so Steve Cortez, for instance, tweeted, if leftists like AOC actually thought mandates and masking worked, they wouldn't be frolicking in free Florida. Number two, her guy is showing his gross pale male feet in public, not at a pool or beach with hideous sandals. Okay, I wouldn't have even noticed his sandals. You can't even really see his feet, especially in that photo, but okay. AOC shot back by saying this, if Republicans are mad, they can't date me, they can just say that instead of projecting their sexual frustrations onto my boyfriend's feet, you creepy weirdos. And she also tweeted, it's starting to get old ignoring the very obvious, strange, and deranged sexual frustrations that underpin the Republican fixation on me, women, and LGBT plus people in general. These people clearly need therapy, won't do it, and use politics as their outlet instead. It's really weird. So before we get to Fox's meltdown over those tweets, I wanted to get your thoughts on it, Cenk.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. And the people denying it are hilarious, as you're gonna see on Fox in a second. So number one, Fox is gonna pretend that AOC brought this up out of nowhere. No, she did it in response to the creep who's talking about her boyfriend's feet for no reason, because he's feeling jealous, right? He's like, oh, why are you dating him? I don't even like his feet. What? Are you insane? Are you nuts? Like, what are you obsessing about her boyfriend's feet? Are you like, and so she's responding to that, but they leave that out. As if she just out of the blue was like, oh, all the Republicans want to date me, haha. No, she didn't say that, she did it in response to this. Point two is, do the Republican men have sexual frustrations that they vent towards AOC and other attractive progressive women? Definitely, 100%. So look, I don't want to get into details of all their perversions, but were they more interested in Sarah Palin because they found her attractive? They would say it all the time. We would share it with you guys. They're like, oh, she's hot. We like her because she's hot, right? And so the idea that they're not interested is hilarious. And yeah, and why? Because their base is young, frustrated men. They have an incel base, and that incel base is obsessed with, it's not fair that I can't get laid. And so they take out their aggression on what they view to be attractive women on the left.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth to that. There's this book, Kill All Normies by Angela Nagel, that gets into detail about that. And message boards like 4chan, later 8chan, and there was the shooting in Santa Barbara featuring an incel guy who was frustrated over the fact that female students weren't sleeping with him. So there is a lot of truth to it. And so it's interesting that she honestly had the guts to call it out, but more importantly, how much that truth got under the skin of people like Rachel Campos-Duffy. So here she is on Fox News, just losing her mind over it.
We've all laughed off that she said, that her critics just want to date her, that Republican men criticize her because they want to date her and they're sexually frustrated. I have to tell you, I'm very disturbed, genuinely disturbed, that this woman continues to sexualize everything, including her critics, because she can't handle any kind of criticism. I think this is a person who needs to be in therapy and not in Congress. I found her response really weird and disturbing. And I think that her constituents ought to be embarrassed of it and ought to be embarrassed of what she's doing. That she should go back to her district. Her district is dirty, it's crime-ridden. There's no economic prosperity because of the policies that she supports. She's an embarrassment to her party and to her district.
Her district is dirty and crime-ridden. If I recall correctly, the poorest states in this country are run by Republicans. States like Oklahoma, Mississippi. I mean, okay, whatever. But I find it fascinating how triggered she is by this.
Yeah, so two things. One, if anybody ever said, hey, that district in West Virginia that's got a Republican congressman is dirty and crime-ridden, Appalachia, you know how dirty they are. People would lose their minds.
As they should.
Right, they'd be like, they'd say, are you criticizing the poor? What do you do? Are you insane? That's outrageous, unacceptable. You say it about the Queens and New York, inner cities, and Republicans are like, yes, call them dirty. Yeah, Tucker Carlson's gonna be so happy they're all dirty. I don't know if I know. They have no idea how outwardly racist they are. If you say it about poor white people, they would be out of their minds furious. You say it about black folks, they're like, yes, okay, you're sicking me. Now, second of all, just as I told you, she's sexualizing it. Dude, one of your own was talking about sucking on her boyfriend's toes or how he doesn't want to do it or something. And he was obsessed with like sexualizing her boyfriend's feet. And then now all of a sudden she's sexualizing it. It's the same thing they do with every issue like COVID, right? They're like, we disagree with 99% of the world's doctors and scientists. You shouldn't take the vaccine. We go, well, we think you should. Oh, why are you politicizing it? We weren't. Nobody was saying anything until you guys came in like lunatics.
Can I just jump in? Look, I don't know. I think people might not like what I'm about to say, but we all know it's true. Why is there an obsession with AOC in particular, in general, right? It's because she's young and she's attractive. Let's just keep it real. Everyone knows it. Why is there? I mean, there's way more attention focused on AOC than any other member of Congress, hands down. There's no question about it. And it's because she's young and attractive. We all know it. They're the ones who sexualize her. They're the ones who have decided to target her endlessly as if she's, look, I think in the first year, AOC was a lot more critical of the establishment and really put herself out there a lot more. But lately, she strikes me as a typical Democrat. Like, what is it about AOC that makes them so hyper-focused on her? She's a young member of Congress, an attractive member of Congress. She gets all the attention for that reason and that reason only, in my opinion, from right-wingers.
But let me add one quick thing to that, though. In this case, that's not just right-wing media. That's also mainstream media.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it real, keep it real. I gotta be honest, the people that were involved in her winning, we were surprised at how much attention she got. And looking back at it, it's because we thought they were gonna focus on policy. And in the beginning, she had wonderful, she still has good policy. In the beginning, it was more groundbreaking, right? And now we're a little bit more used to it. And that was great, et cetera. And we thought, oh my God, no, they were just interested in her because they thought she was hot. And so it's Rashida Tlaib has the same policies. Ayanna Pressley has the same policies, but everybody focuses on AOC. So that pervades all of media. And we're like, I gotta be honest, I'm a nerd for not seeing it instantly. And we're too earnest in a sense. I have one other clip I wanna go to from there.
Yeah, let's go to that next clip.
Go ahead.
But can I just say this? It's also not true. Republican men, conservative men, do not want to date communists. They know that it will lead to a life of misery. Right. So it's also false.
Okay, I want to just quickly respond to that. That's an interesting takeaway. She's basing it off of her feelings a little bit because there has been a poll on this very issue, and I want to give you the details of that poll. Let's go to graphic 4 here. A poll conducted in December revealed that 71% of Democrats in college would not date someone who voted for former President Donald Trump. But the poll also showed that only 31% of college GOP members said they wouldn't date someone who voted for President Joe Biden.
And I guarantee you 99% of those are women. And you could tell from Hegseth and Kilmeade's reaction too. She's like, Republican men don't want to date hot communist women. They're both like,
maybe.
Believe me, they do. They definitely do. And I can tell you because I was a Republican when I was younger. And when I talk to other Republican guys, there's no qualms about like, no, I don't like her politics. Have you met them? Have you met them? Okay, they're such goofballs. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges, You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.